Imagine moving into a new city, hearing footsteps outside your apartment every night, and slowly realizing someone might actually be watching you. Or trusting old friends at a dinner party only to discover they invited you there for something terrifying. These are not your typical jump scare horror movies. These films crawl under your skin, slowly, quietly, and when the horror finally hits, it stays with you. Today, we're diving into 7 of the best indie horror movies ever made. Movies that prove you don't need giant monsters or huge budgets to create absolute terror. And trust me, some of these endings will leave you speechless. Let's begin. Watcher. A woman moves to a foreign city with her husband. New apartment, new life, new beginning. But from the very first night, something feels wrong. Julia spends her evenings alone while her husband works long hours. She doesn't understand the language, she barely knows anyone. And then she notices him, a man standing in the window across the street, just staring. At first, she thinks she's imagining things, but every night he's there again, watching. No one believes her, not her husband, not the police. Everyone thinks it's anxiety. But then a serial killer appears in the news. Women are being murdered nearby. 2. The invitation. Imagine getting invited to a dinner party by your ex-wife. Awkward already, right? But when Will arrives at the house, something feels completely off. The smiles feel fake, the conversations feel rehearsed, and the hosts keep talking about acceptance and letting go. At first, it just feels uncomfortable. Then people start locking doors. The guests are asked strange personal questions, a mysterious video is shown, and little by little, the tension becomes unbearable. Will starts suspecting something horrible is about to happen. But there's one problem. What if he's just paranoid? That's the genius of this movie. Saint Maud. Maud is a quiet nurse, religious, lonely, deeply disturbed. After a traumatic incident from her past, she becomes obsessed with saving people through faith. Then she meets Amanda, a dying dancer with a wild personality. Maud believes God sent her there for one purpose: to save Amanda's soul. At first, her devotion seems harmless. But slowly, her faith transforms into obsession. She begins hearing voices, seeing visions, believing she has a direct connection to God himself. And the scariest part? She truly believes she's doing the right thing. Saint Maud is psychological horror at its finest. The movie constantly blurs the line between religious miracle and complete madness. You never know what's real. 4. Relic. An elderly woman suddenly disappears from her home. Days later, she returns. But something is terribly wrong. At first, her family thinks it's dementia, simple memory loss. But then the house itself begins changing. Dark stains spread across the walls. Hidden rooms appear. Strange noises echo through the halls at night. The home starts feeling alive and angry. What makes Relic different from most horror films is that the monster isn't just supernatural. It's aging, loss, watching someone you love slowly disappear. The horror feels painfully real. 5. Resurrection. Margaret's life is perfect. Successful career, organized routine, complete control. Until one day, she sees a man from her past, and instantly her entire world falls apart. You can feel the fear in her face before we even know why. Who is this man? What did he do to her? The movie slowly reveals horrifying pieces of their history: manipulation, abuse, psychological torture. But the deeper the story goes, the stranger things become. Margaret starts unraveling mentally. Reality begins twisting. And then she tells a story so disturbing, you'll question everything you've seen. Resurrection is not traditional horror. 6. Caveat. A man accepts a strange job for quick money. All he has to do is stay inside an isolated house and watch over a mentally disturbed woman. Sounds easy, except there's one horrifying condition. He must wear a heavy leather harness attached to a chain, limiting where he can move inside the house. Now he's trapped, inside a decaying home, with someone who may be dangerous, and something else hiding in the walls. Then he discovers a creepy toy rabbit. A rabbit that bangs a drum whenever danger is near. This movie is pure nightmare fuel. Almost every room feels cursed. Every sound feels threatening. 7. A dark song. Sophia hires a mysterious occult expert for one reason. She wants to contact her dead son. But the ritual they attempt is extremely dangerous. According to ancient occult practices, the process could take months. And once it begins, there's no turning back. The two lock themselves inside an isolated mansion. No visitors, no outside contact, only rituals, symbols, sacrifices. At first, it feels strange. Then terrifying things begin happening. Shadow figures appear in the darkness. Violent supernatural attacks shake the house. And both characters begin mentally collapsing. These movies prove that indie horror can be far more terrifying than massive Hollywood blockbusters. Because real fear doesn't always come from monsters. Sometimes it comes from loneliness, grief, obsession, and the darkness hiding inside ordinary people. So, which of these movies disturbed you the most? And did we miss any hidden horror masterpieces? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more movie recaps, ending explanations, and psychological horror breakdowns. Because the next story might be even darker.